Morning. My name is Jen and we're in Micanopy, Florida. It's a bit of a cloudy, hot, humid morning, and I'd like to welcome you to my garden. I have been gardening here for about 20 years, and I started gardening when I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I used to grow green beans and put them in a paper sack and sell them on the side of the street. So my gardening roots are deep. So I'd like to give you a little tour of the garden. So this is some indigo here, and then some cotton. I've been collecting cotton seeds. I got some from a lady at a farmer's market in Savannah. I've got white, green, and brown cotton. And I planted corn in between the rows here and also over here in the indigo, because I read somewhere that traditionally that's what people did. This is a little herb spiral that my kids made for me one year for Mother's Day.
Beautiful. What's growing in here?
Yarrow, Echinacea, lavender. There's lots of borage this year that I collected seeds from last year and got the borage going. The pollinators love the borage. And there's different types of thyme, parsley, rosemary, dill, sage, chives, all different kinds of things.
So pretty.
And squash and lots of tomatoes this year. I've never been super successful with tomatoes, but this might be my year. Pretty excited.
What varieties have you got over there?
Oh, I've got probably about 10 different varieties scattered throughout the garden, and I try and mark them, but then, you know, that doesn't always work. So I'm not sure what I have here. And then I've got some of the pigeon peas that are coming back from last year that are already blooming. And so I just cut those back early in the spring, and I'm pretty happy with those. They provide a little shade in our hot summers here.
I love pigeon pea. Have you tried chopping and dropping it at all for fertilizer, or?
I put it on my compost pile pretty much. Yeah. And my velvet beans finally came up. They took forever. They are right here. And I don't see them over there yet, but right there, just that one so far. So
they are going to take over this little corner over here.
That's okay with me. And here's the I love these tomatoes. These are the purple. These are indigo apple tomatoes, and these are super beautiful. Got a little hint of.
Do you save seeds off of these ones each year, or do you?
Yeah, I can.
Nice. Ooh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
How big do those get?
I don't know. It's the first year I've grown them.
Oh, okay. Look at your gorgeous cabbage.
Yeah, this Savoy Cabbage. Yeah. And the collards are having a little second life here.
Beautiful. Your soil looks amazing.
Yeah, I've worked really hard on the soil through the years.
You can tell because your plants are gorgeous. This is cool.
Here, I think these might be the Everglades here. They're super crazy and wild.
They're very tall.
Yeah.
I have seen Everglades take advantage of climbing when you give them a chance.
Yeah.
They look a little big though.
You think they're not? It's too big. The fruit.
A couple of them look a little large.
Yeah, it could be some other variety. Like I said, I try and, oh, here's some little tomatoes right here. Look at these. Those look like Everglades, don't they?
Those look like Everglades.
Yeah. So these are, these two are volunteers actually from last year. I remember that from this little corner, and I'll start collecting some of those seeds from the Calendula.
That's a nice easy one.
Them are ready here. These look like they're ready. Yep.
Yep.
So I'll come out here. Maybe tomorrow. It's going to be a nice cool day, and I don't think it's going to rain. And I will collect those. I like to try and do a lot of companion planting. I use a lot of nasturtiums and marigolds and different herbs that go nicely.
Have you found nasturtiums go particularly well with anything, or?
They just kind of go crazy. I think everybody likes nasturtiums. Even one year I planted a bunch of nasturtiums under the citrus, and because I read somewhere that makes citrus happy, so I did it, and they seemed happy. And then over here we'll start getting into some of the indigo. These are the climbing beans that I got from working. These are the Dade Pole Beans.
Oh, nice.
Looking quite happy. Going up there. Then I planted some marigolds that I see are just coming up, and then I've got some squash in there. And here's a little baby indigo plant. That's what it looks like coming out of the greenhouse. Now some people start it from seed right into the ground. I tend to start them in flats. Here's a plant that has not flowered. It's just growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then here's one that is starting to flower.
Beautiful.
So I will probably come through here and cut this off, even though it's not that big. These are not very big indigo plants. They'll get twice or 3 times as big and full as this. But if you take a leaf off this, you want to harvest the indigo. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not. It's not super bright out today. Well, I can show you some dried leaves where you can really see the blue. But if you were to, handle this for a while, it would oxidize and have a little blue tint to it. But you want to harvest the leaves right around flowering, right before or right around flowering. So since it's just starting. Right, that's not a true indigo.
Oh.
So that does not produce the indigo powder that I am a student of, that I am obsessed about. So, but there are many, many different varieties of indigo that grow throughout the tropics on many continents, particularly Asia and Africa and the Americas. So this is what the seed pods look like when they're ready to be harvested. And each little pod has several little black seeds. And that one, they don't like to come out of their little homes, but there's usually several.
So tiny.
Yeah, tiny, tiny, tiny.
Wow, so you must get tons of seed
Yes,
off
tons
of
of
just one plant.
seeds. Yes, tons of seeds. And here's some of the dried leaves. This is actually like 4 years old, and you can really see the blue color to that.
They're so pretty.
It's, it's really a magical process.
It is.
And then here's some of the indigo powder that comes from those. Get that over there. And it's a little bit on the gray side, but it's all kind of an experimentation.
So how do you go from those leaves to that?
It's a very complicated process, and that's like a whole weekend workshop.
Okay, we'll do that sometime.
But it's all about reduction and oxidation and fermentation.
Okay.
So, but you can see the nice blue
Beautiful
color there.
I just noticed you're wearing all blue today. Was that on purpose?
Of course. And here's some just 100% fabric that I dyed with the indigo. It's got a nice sheen to it.
Gorgeous.
So these are baby indigo plants, the Guatemalan. And then this is actually the Tinctoria, which is another variety of indigo that I'm going to put in the garden. It gets very large. And I've grown that before also. And the reason I'm going back to this is because I did some reading and some research saying that really the indigo content is the highest in this variety. So I can do a little experiment. And here's our seeds, lots of seeds. One other thing I wanted to add about indigo is I'd really encourage you to grow it because it's a nitrogen fixer, and so it's super awesome for your garden plants. You can just grow some and it provides a little shade, and even if you don't want to go through the whole process of making indigo, it's still a very beneficial plant to grow.